Hi, boys and girls. Are you ready to hear chapter 12 in Adoniram Judson? It was terrible him being in that prison, isn't it? And yet he survived. God gave him the strength to survive. All right, now they're leaving this place to go to a workplace. Chapter 12, Unpen Law. "Wake up, you slowpokes," the guard said. He cracked his long whip, flicking the back of the prisoners, drawing blood. "Go faster, faster." It took hours to walk to the new prison. All the prisoners were chained together. When one tripped, they all fell to pull everyone down. Adoniram's shoes had rotted away a long time ago. He stumbled over the rocks in barefoot and his feet bled. The heat beat down on his head and neck. He longed for new clothes, a bath, good food, and a day without pain. "Welcome to Unpen Law prison," he said. "Now get inside." Adoniram found a place to lie down in the building. His feet were bleeding. His stomach ached with hunger. His throat ached with thirst. He looked up. There was no roof on the building. When it began to rain, he was drenched, and he shivered with fever in the night. Insects crawled through the wet clothing. There is one good thing, Adoniram thought as he killed a cockroach. Anne will not be able to visit me here. She will stay home with Ava and take care of Maria. Then I will live through this ordeal, and she will be healthy enough to take care of me. However, the next day, Anne and Maria arrived at Unpen Law. "What are you doing here?" Adoniram asked her. "You should not have come." "I go where you go," she said. "I will share your sufferings." No, go home," Adoniram said. "I am going to die soon. You cannot help me anymore." Anne smiled gently at Adoniram. "I shall stay here with you," she said. "I have not traveled across the world with you in order to leave you now." 6 months passed. Anne visited Adoniram during the day. She and Maria cuddled together on a cot in a little room outside the prison fence. "I'm out of medicine," Anne told Adoniram. "I must go back to Ava and get some. I will be back in a few days." 3 days passed and Anne did not come. Many more days passed and Anne did not come. Maybe she decided to stay in Ava, Adoniram thought. "A passing merchant has told me that your wife is very ill," the prison guard told him. "People have gathered around your house in Ava, waiting for her to die." Adoniram could not believe it. What would happen to Maria if Anne died? What would happen to him? Weeks went by. "Your wife came back last night," the guard said to Adoniram. "Can I see her? Where is she?" "Yeah, she is dying again." "Come, I will show you." The guard took Adoniram to the little room where Anne was. She had collapsed on a cot and could not move. Adoniram felt her forehead. "She's burning up," he said. "That is not my concern," said the guard. Why don't you pray to that God of yours to help her?" So Adoniram prayed, and he picked up his helpless little daughter. "Maria has no food," he said to the guard. "Please, may I go to the village and see if a woman can feed her?" The man looked at the tiny sick baby and laughed. "I don't care. Do what you wish with her. She's going to die anyway." Adoniram took Anne. No, I'm sorry, I read that wrong. Adoniram left Anne tossing on her cot back and forth with a high fever, and he went through the village of Unpen Law. He cradled little Maria in his arms. When the people saw him coming, they ran into their houses and slammed the doors. Then he realized why they were running. He realized how frightening he looked. He was thin, sores from the shackles, the handcuffs, insect bites all over his body. He was unwashed. He was bright red. Remember, he has pale skin like Miss Caldwell. And if you're in the sun, you get bright red. And we get sunburnt from the sun shining in the building because there was no roof. Please, he called out, my baby, she needs milk. She will die without milk. Someone have mercy. Please have pity on my poor baby Maria. Please help her. Adoniram sat down on a tree stump in the middle of the village. All around him, all the doors were shut. He longed for the cool, rolling hills of New England where he grew up, where they had plenty of food and milk. They had medicine and peace and freedom. I will help her, sir. He heard a voice. He looked up. A young Burmese woman stood beside him. She looked strong and healthy. Adoniram breathed deeply. He kissed the top of Maria's head and wept over her. Then he held her out to the stranger. Thank you. You have saved her life. When her mother is well, she will come get her. The young woman nodded. I too am a mother, and I will do this for her mother and for you. The woman's eyes were soft. She smiled. This war is hard. It is hard for everyone, but it will be over soon. Adoniram hobbled back to the prison. His feet still bled. The leg irons dug into his legs and left big wounds. He had collapsed on the thin bed of straw, and a man beside him began to laugh. Why are you laughing? Adoniram asked. What is there to laugh about? I'm laughing at you. I think you are crazy. Now look at me. Adoniram looked. The man was tall and bony, scars all over his body, and a lot of his teeth were gone. I am in prison because I am a murderer and a thief. You are in prison because you won't go back to America where you belong. I have heard that it is easy to live in America. You did not go home to peace and safety when the war started. Now you are in a death prison. Your wife is dying, and you gave your baby to a woman that you don't even know. You see, you are crazy. He is not crazy, another prisoner said. He's stupid. He serves a God who has forsaken him. I am not crazy, said Adoniram, and I am not stupid. I know that every one of these trials has been planned by God to make me more like Jesus Christ. The men talked all night. Many said, he's crazy. Others said, no, he's a good man. Finally, the talk died down and the men drifted off to sleep. Suddenly, there was a great noise outside the prison walls. There was shouting and beating of drums. What is it? Adoniram asked. What is happening? The prison door slammed open. The guard entered the room. He walked past the murderers and the thieves, and he stopped in front of the missionaries. Good news at last, the guard said, leering at them. The war is over. You are free to go home. Go to America, the murderer called to Adoniram. It's an easy life there. I will get my wife and my baby, Adoniram said, and then I will go back to Rangoon to preach the gospel of Jesus Christ. Wow. What suffering he went through. I can't even imagine, boys and girls. It's so hard that all that he went through. And yet he still had his faith in Jesus Christ. And he would talk to those people who were being mean to him. He's a great man. All right. I love you. Bye.